Hello, my name is Olivia Bova. I'm a psychologist and counselor socio-emotional. With my creative talk, I would like to share with you the amazing life and ideas of people around the world because each person is unique and special. Hello, today we are with Cecilia. Cecilia, can you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, where you are, what do you do in your amazing life?
Amazing. Of course. Thanks for having me, first of all. My name is Cecilia Granata. I currently live in the San Francisco Bay Area. I live in Berkeley and work here, but I'm from Milan, Italy. And I work as tattoo artist, and as an illustrator. So I divide my time between these two art practices.
Oh, amazing. Uh, Always you decided to be to work in the tattoo world and illustrator, or how I would like to know the way you arrived to work in this field and
Yeah, I started to get tattooed when I was very early, when I was very young. I was 14 when I got my first tattoo. And I knew right away that that was something that really resonated with me. I liked the idea of the outsider, of self-expression, of art, of course, because I was always inclined towards art and drawing, and I had this passion. So I bought a tattoo machine when I was 17 years old, and I tattooed in my bedroom a few of my friends, hiding from my mom with loud music. But then I put that on hold because I decided to study illustration.
okay.
I moved to New York to study at School of Visual Arts, and I got my bachelor degree in illustration, thinking that I might try to combine these two passions. I originally wanted to design uh, punk rock music posters,
Oh, wow.
and that was the idea. And then it evolved. I started working as an illustrator when I was still in school in New York. So I was doing editorial work for magazines, for skateboard companies, for the music industry. I did some CD covers, but I was still not tattooing. I just put that on hold. I
Okay.
didn't have a chance. I didn't have my machine with me. I didn't have anybody to teach me, because when I first started to pick up the tattoo machine, it was because my tattoo artist in Milan told me that he was gonna teach me how to tattoo, but then I left Milan, so I didn't have this person, to
Okay.
refer to.
Understood.
And especially in the US, you are supposed to get an apprenticeship to become a tattooer. In Italy, it's not the same, but I didn't have any place to get an apprenticeship. But when I moved back to Milan, after working and studying in New York for 5 years, I was looking for something a little bit more reliable than illustration, because working as a freelance, especially at the beginning, right after college, you never know when you're gonna get work. And I wanted something a little bit more reliable, so I picked up where I left, and I went back to that guy, to my tattoo
Yeah.
artist,
Okay.
and told him that I was ready. So he taught me. It was not a proper apprenticeship, but he just told me to go, watch him, and I could pick up whatever I needed to. And so I did. And I was still working as an illustrator meanwhile, but then I started to tattoo my friends. And at some point I had, a small portfolio that I took to a tattoo shop in Milan, and they liked it. So I started working professionally as a tattooer in Milan. Still continuing to do some illustrations on the side, but focusing more on tattooing at that point.
Oh,
Um, and now I think it's going back to a little bit of vice versa. So I'm tattooing a few days a week, but I'm trying to go back to full-time illustration, or most of the time illustration at
and
least.
what kind of illustration? Because illustration is very vast, big word, and there are different
Yeah.
emphases.
I kind of go with the flow, so I don't. So I do what I get basically, and what I'm getting. In the meanwhile, since I moved here, I also had a chance to get a master degree in illustration at Academy of Art in San Francisco, and I thought that I wanted to focus on children illustration, but it turns out that my style is not very suitable for children. So I'm mostly focusing this day on editorial. So I do magazine illustration. I did some illustrations for Buzz magazine, for a range of magazines. I do book covers for publisher in Portland. I do textile design for a few both on commissioned and myself. So I sell my own fabrics online mostly.
Can you show us some of your?
Yeah, I can show you. Let's see, I have here. So one of my most popular designs is this one, and I sell fabrics with this, but I also made products. So this is the shirt that I made.
Oh, wow. So nice, so cute.
Yeah, not very suitable for children, as you can see. Yeah, I made it into a fabric. And then I made, I work a lot with textiles. So I made, dish towels. This is a different design.
Oh, wow.
This has been very
beautiful. What is?
It's a tomato lady.
No, but we can use that in
the kitchen.
The kitchen. So it's like it's amazing.
I have the series. I have the onion lady.
So cute.
I also have let's see. I have a celery lady. I have the carrot too, but I don't have it with me. But
wow. Okay, how these are so beautiful. How they become these ideas become illustration, and after that you use that with fabric. How is it the process?
These were original illustrations, and I was selling prints with them. But I noticed they were becoming very popular, so I decided I kind of like the idea of applying illustration to other areas that are not strictly like on paper or on the screen. So I made some products with them. So I made the shirts, and then these ones I love kitchen stuff. I'm obsessed with food and like with everything that is about the kitchen. So I decided to make some kitchen, towels, and I had them produced here in the US. It's 100% cotton, so I'm very mindful about my manufacturers. I don't want things to be done.
So when you have your illustration, you choose your fabric. You know now where you choose your fabric
and so I see. So it takes a lot of work actually to find manufacturers that have high standards, because a lot of the times things are poorly made, or they're made somewhere that you don't want them to be made. So I did some research for these towels especially, and I found this manufacturer in the US, and they make really amazing products. So I sent them. Of course, you have to place a very big order. So I think I had to order about 600 towels.
Okay. Wow.
Because they work for brands, for big companies. So you have a minimum order to place. But I thought it was worth it, so I did. And I've been selling them out of my living room. So my living room is completely filled with cardboard boxes with shirts and kitchen towels and jewelry, prints, all kinds of products. And my husband hates me. Yeah.
You were saying that you are really you are fabric products for kitchen. You like food. I remember you wrote you illustrated a book about food.
Yeah.
I have this book actually.
Rabbit. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I have. But now I'm not in my apartment, so I cannot show your book. But I remember. So you can. I would like also you talk about this book because it's amazing. There are a lot recipe inside, and all of the recipe are vegan. So
Yeah. Yeah, I've been vegan for over 20 years, and I really always had a passion for food. I still do. I love food. I love the kitchen. I love cooking. I think it's like magic. I love transforming the idea, and I use a lot of food as an inspiration for my illustrations and paintings as well. Um, so I had this idea. I was also obsessed with the alphabet. Since I was a little kid. Not sure why exactly, but I had this idea of making an alphabetical cookbook. It was in between something artsy and an actual cookbook. So I made this. It's kind of random. So I have these recipes in alphabetical order, but it's a little strange as a cookbook, as the structure of it. But yeah, I wrote all the recipes. They're all vegan Italian recipes. You know, I always said, because I became vegan very early and I was very young, and in Italy there was nothing vegan available at the time. Now it's the opposite. Now it's great, but at the time it was really difficult to figure it out and, like, you know, find products and also be creative about it, because I didn't know a lot about it, and I was young too, so I didn't really have that much experience. So I started very young to experiment and like try to find alternatives, and that's how I developed my love for cooking. So I just decided to combine these two things that I love, food and art, and I illustrated it all, and it's illustrated as in a tattoo style also, because, you know, I also combine that aspect of my creativity. And yeah, I found this publisher in Portland, for whom I do book covers now. They really liked my idea, my sketches, my recipes, and they decided to publish it. They're called Microcosm Publishing, and I think it came out in 2016, if I'm not wrong. It's called Mama Tried. Yeah, it's fun. I will do things differently now. Of course, whenever I see something that I do, I'm like, oh, I could have done it this way. I could have done it differently. But I still think it's, you know, it's a good, it's, well, definitely it was really flattering to have my book published, you know, and it was a great accomplishment. I really hope to do more illustrated books in the future, maybe about food.
yeah, would you like to do maybe a second? Maybe you can do
Maybe,
a second edition.
yeah, yeah, why not? Yeah, I still love food, still love cooking, I still love doing art about food. Yeah.
No, no, you cook very well. But I tried your recipe.
Yeah. Yeah, these days it's I don't always find the time to cook as much as I would like to, but, you know, if I have some free time, I definitely enjoy to experiment. But I also work a lot. I try to find ways to work with food in maybe, you know, sideways. So, for instance, I work every year. I work with this bakery. It's a vegan bakery in Pennsylvania, and every year they have chocolate box for Valentine Day, and every year I design it. So it's a heart-shaped box, and every year we have an illustration on it. And so I find ways to to work with food even when I'm not directly working with it.
Great. Can you
Oh,
do you
actually,
have here
yeah,
one of your
here it is. So this is last
design?
year.
Oh wow,
Uh, yeah,
totally.
it's with the ghost. Every year it's a different theme. I will open it, and because she makes custom shaped chocolates, but of course they're all gone because I ate them right away. But you know, they were all like ghost shapes, and one was shaped like a ghost cat. So it's very cute. Yeah, I really enjoy this collab, and we do merch too. So we do T-shirts, we do all kinds
Ah,
of
okay.
stuff to go with
Not
it.
always, but always for some Valentine's Day. So
Yeah.
great.
Actually, this year we just started. For the past 4 years, we've been doing it only for Valentine's Day, because it's a big seller for the bakery. They always people go crazy for this box. It's very unique because there is not a lot of high-end vegan chocolates for Valentine that, you know, available on the market. So but this year she decided to make it for Halloween and for Christmas too. So we are working on, well, actually we already finished. So we are gonna have two more designs coming for this year.
Okay. Wow,
Yeah.
a lot of creativity. So is beautiful because but you have a lot ideas go in different way, but at the same time you have a line, like a direction,
Yeah,
like you.
because I don't like doing only one thing. I get bored of it. So I really like, and I always have some different ideas, and different ways that I could apply my work to. And every time I get excited about this, so I really enjoy this versatility that I found, So I don't want to be only doing textile design, because if I do, then I'm gonna hate it at some point. So
Okay.
I like, I always get excited by new things, and that keeps me refreshed, in everything that I do.
Okay, yeah, thank you. And I have a question about it because your illustration become also clothes, shirt. I think also bag. You also
Yeah,
bag. Do you have there? We or
I don't have. Oh, I have pillows. Yeah. So
you have a pillow? Oh
yeah,
wow, so cute.
this is one of my best sellers too. So what happened is that I always sold like prints or more traditional types of mostly like prints or posters, things that are quite common to do. But last year during the pandemic, one of my designs, the mushrooms, this one. Uh,
Oh, okay, wow, great.
the mushrooms with human butts, it went viral.
Okay.
That's how it all started. That's why I had to find ways to apply and to expand my inventory, because it went viral without me having any expectations of it. And when it did, I started getting all these messages, and they were like, "I love your work. Where can I buy it? Where can I buy it?" And I
Wow.
was like, I don't know. Like, let me figure this out. So I started selling. Like, I upload my art on a few websites that do on-demand products like Redbubble and Society6. And they do everything. So I only get a small percentage of the sale, but they do everything from production to shipping. So I don't have to think about anything.
Wow, great.
And they print on all kinds of things like mugs, blankets, shower curtains. Shower curtains are a big seller. T-shirts, hoodies, like all kinds of things that I could not possibly, make my own by myself. So it's been great. So it's very fun to see my art on all kinds of things, really, that I wouldn't be able to make otherwise.
Wow.
Yeah.
And but you, your illustration also become also tattoos
Yes, of
here,
course.
because I see the mushroom become
Every,
really.
yeah. Well, these mushrooms were originally created as tattoo designs.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But then they became so popular that people wanted to see them on different things too, on like the shower curtains or the tablecloth, things like that. But of course, this was during the pandemic, so we were not tattooing at the time, but people started to contacting me to get these tattoos once the pandemic was over. So they were like, we were booking appointments, leaving a deposit, and setting up. So I've been tattooing a lot of these, and I made a whole series. So it's not just the mushrooms, it's the ice cream and the carrots and the starfish. Like, there is a bunch, and people keep coming to get those and other things too. But these have become very popular. So I think I did two last week. I did a ice cream and a carrot, and I have a cupcake next week.
Do you have other idea about this kind of illustration and after the product become?
Yeah. So this series, the whole concept really is put a butt over over it, and it can be anything. And because it's been so popular, I keep coming up with different things. Now I'm a little bit like, I don't want to say that I'm stopping this, but I want to focus on other things too. I don't want to become that artist that only does the butt thing. So I've been, pushing out new ideas and trying to find the next good idea. But of course, I'm still gonna continue, to do it because, if people like it, why not continue to do it? It's good for everybody. It's we all benefit from it. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see.
How do you found your ideas? Do you have process in that, or your process in found your ideas? Or
I guess I have my process. I find ideas everywhere. Like where this idea for the mushrooms came because I saw a photo of a real mushroom that it kind of looked like a human body, and I was like, oh my god, I should make a series of tattoos, you know, based on that. So I did, but I literally find ideas from walking my dog in the morning and seeing a beautiful flower that I think should, you know, will make a really good design if I combine it with something else. Or, you know, of course, I look at a lot of different artists and I find inspiration there, but also from reading a book, I find an image that really evokes something, and I'm thinking how I can apply that and mix it with something else, or all kinds of references to pop culture, to movies. I love horror movies, I love monsters, I love all of that, you know, so that always comes back into it. I love food, so I always try to do, in fact, in college, I did a series of paintings called The Philosophical Bakery, because I loved food and I love philosophy, so I try to combine that. And there is always something, you know, interesting happening. Or you read, you will listen to a song and it has a beautiful image that you think will make a really good painting. So it's kind of hard to point exactly where it comes from. It's just, you know, always
yeah,
coming. Yeah, except when it's not coming. Like sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to do now. But then I always find something.
And I have a question in mind coming now when I listen to you. Would you like to teach what you are doing? Because I think some people are interested in that. You know, there are now such a lot training online for illustration, tattoo, ideas, creativity. So, and because you have a lot skills in your
Well,
yeah.
yeah, I guess I like the idea of teaching. I am very shy, believe it or not. I am very shy, so I am not sure um I will actually, I don't like speaking in front of a lot of people. I'm kind of like reserved. I'm a little bit antisocial. Like I prefer to be in small groups of people. You know, I'm very quiet. Um, so that kind of stops me. And I also don't really love being on video, on camera, on photos. But I have thought about it, and in fact, there is this really great platform where I do take classes. It's called Skillshare, and I have taken a lot of illustration classes. And they have offered me, like, well, it's not like it's nothing special. They, you know, it's everybody can teach on Skillshare. But I was contacted by the people there, and they liked my project, so they asked me if I wanted to become a teacher. But um I'm not sure I can see all these skills that you were talking about. I find it hard to look at myself and define what these skills are or what I could be teaching to people. Maybe if someone gave me like a very specific idea, oh, you should teach how to do this, maybe I could think about it. But I have a hard time thinking, you know, I'm like, oh, but there is so many great people and great teachers around that. What really can I add to that? Like, what is my skill? Like drawing butts on vegetables?
No, yeah, I think you know, there is another platform. The name is Domestica. I took
Yeah.
some classes there, and you can teach in Italian, English. There are classes in Spanish, in different languages, and I because for example, what I think there are a lot of people interesting, like you have this idea, this illustration, and this illustration become is a tattoo, but is a traditional printing, but it's become also with fabric, become clothes, bag. So I think there are people interesting in that. For example, me, I'm interested in, okay, I have an idea, like, because I'm more children's book,
Yeah.
I'm more in that way, but now you know, I'm developing a little bit my creativity, and I'm looking to say to try different things and say, oh,
Mhm.
why not? This is very interesting. Like you see your illustration in the clothes in the bag, and you choose your fabric, and so.
Yeah, maybe you're right. In fact, one of my favorite classes that I took in my master here in San Francisco, it was called art licensing, and it was my favorite just because it's you create collections of illustrations, and it shows you how you can apply them to different products from from everything, and then you kind of license it. Literally, you give a license to somebody else to print it on their product. So it can be lucrative, and it's also a lot of fun to collaborate with different people. So maybe you're right. I could take this idea and like because I take it further because I also apply to tattoos. So it kind of has my twist. All right, I'll think about it. Thanks for
About it, I can be your first student.
okay. Sounds good.
Do you have other products, other illustration, or did you make? Do you have other things you want to show with us?
Another thing that I do is painting, although I don't do it very often anymore because I don't really have the time, but I love painting. I absolutely love painting. So I have one painting that I've been waiting to finish for about 2 years now.
Oh yeah.
It's, yeah, I can show it to you.
Oh
Uh,
yes, I would like.
it's really big. Let me get it. Um, it's um, it's been sitting in my uh
Oh wow.
yeah, so it's a bunch of flowers and they all have heads inside them. This is acrylic, and I was thinking of painting the first round with acrylics and then go over it with oil just to give it some more richness. But as you can see, it's up in a very early stage, and it's been like this for about 2 years now. But it's based on the I love like classic art. Well, not classic. I love like Renaissance art. So still lifes were always one of my favorite subjects for some reason. I love nature, flowers, food again, rotting food, skulls, because it was always almost always a memento mori, the still life in the Renaissance. So I took some of those traditional beautifully painted still lifes. I could never paint like that. I wish I could. But I'm mixing it with the tattoo iconography. This idea of the flower with a head inside is a very common tattoo theme. So I try to combine modern and ancient with a pop twist. I really wish I had more time, but I'm gonna finish it one
Oh
day.
yeah, you should finish because already look beautiful, and I can see this is really become amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should do.
And another thing that I really love to do, because here in the United States, as you know, you can always find things in the streets like furniture or, yeah. So I like to pick up things that I find in the street and paint them. So for instance, I found this small table. It was shaped like a heart.
I remember is the
Yeah,
art, right? It was.
yeah, yeah.
I remember.
So I decided to paint it, and I painted it as a tattoo. So it's like this table, and originally it was just wood color, but I painted it with a face inside the heart. It was a crying face with the a sad heart. So I love doing this type of things too. So yeah, I sold that, but I'm always looking for more things that I can repurpose, and I love the idea of repurposing too. So
Yeah, it's great. Wow.
yeah.
It's like you can create your no kind of you have already in your apartment your atelier with
Yeah. I don't like it though. I don't like to have my art in my apartment, so I try to get rid of it. I don't want to look at my paintings once they're done. I don't have anything right now except for this one that I have to finish. Everything else, I either sold it or I hung it in the tattoo shop where I work. I don't want to see it. Once it's done, it's not for me anymore. If someone likes it, great, but I don't really want to see it. So, yeah.
Do you have other idea? You
I just had this strange idea. I had this idea that I could not resist, so I wanted to make a mirror based on the miroir sorcière. So those mirrors that they used to be convex, not convex, the opposite. I don't know the word in English, but you know, kind of like a sphere almost. No, they were like in a almost like a ball, you know, like a big ball. So you see the image distorted. And they had this frame with the sun a lot of the times, you know, the sun shape, the traditional mirror. So I wanted to make one that was that sun idea, but the sun was made of hands of a skeleton, and they were all gold. So I hired design lab in. I could not do it. I had to do it because I become a little obsessive with things too. So I had this laboratory in Italy. They're great. So I gave them my drawing, and they made the mirror.
Okay. Wow.
And it's beautiful. I don't have it to see, but I can send you a link. And we're gonna show it at the Milan Design Week this year. This year is gonna be in September because you know, COVID. Everything was delayed. But there's gonna be some events, and I put it in art gallery tattoo shop. So it's gonna be part of the Design Week's events. So I, you know, another way, another application. Yeah.
Great. But thank you so much, Cecilia. It was amazing. Do you have some maybe share some I don't know, words or to end it this interview, or your final sentence? I don't know, something, you know, for inspire people and.
I just well, I want to thank you for having me, and I just want to say that you know, don't ever get, or maybe do get discouraged sometimes when you keep pushing out work, you keep drawing, following your passion, and it doesn't always have you know, resonance with people around you, or it doesn't have success necessarily. Maybe will come, maybe will not, but if it comes, if a success comes, or if you know, your work becomes reaches a wider audiences, it's never because you were trying really hard to show it to a greater universe audience. It was always because you were following what, you know, your inner voice, and putting it out, just keep planting seeds, and then things, you know, the universe has a way to work things out. But when you try too much to reach one specific goal, in my experience, it doesn't ever happens. I thought I was gonna be successful with something very elegant, you know, and it turns out that I became successful with a bunch of human butts over, you know, vegetables. So you never know. Just follow your instinct and put out, you know, follow your passion. When you're an artist, it does kind of become a little bit of an obsession, and I think it is a good obsession to have.
Thank you so much, Cecilia. Thank you.
Thank you. It was great talking to you.